leave, I want to thank everybody that hung out. You're going to get the blessing later. I know I got touched. Hope everyone else got touched with the truth that was shared up here. There's a spiritual truth that I'd like to share with the newcomer before we give you guys some instruction. There's food out there. The servants have already cleaned the house up. This is our time. The one thing I didn't know early in recovery, I had no idea that I couldn't see. They got a saying in recovery, there's a couple about fear, you know. False evidence appearing real. We got a lot of false evidence appearing real outside the rooms and inside the rooms. In order to find out what Andre and what I know, some of my mentors, and the stuff that John was saying about gravitating towards devaluing yourself. When God values you, you start to lean on people that value who they are in God. And it's not them. They just know some information and been connected to some sources, and they say to thine own self be true. The step work allows us an opportunity, a systematic path, like my sponsor says, right, to face everything we're not in order to recover what we've always been. Woo! Now, wouldn't you, and this is a simple spiritual truth in all 12-step fellowships God-given, right? The Journey Church has all 4 fellowships. Coincidence? I think not. But God is doing a work in Delaware, and that work is going to magnify. Because if it's of God, it's going to grow. And we say it every year. God is the ultimate authority. He's unstoppable. He doesn't compete either. Surrender is mandatory to what's already in you. The grace of God, we say it all the time, right? Right? Does anybody know what grace is? It's unmerited favor. Right? It's unmerited. It's God's riches at Christ's expense. He came to reconcile us to himself. And he can't reject himself. In NA we say, there's gold in there. So this is the promise of God. That if you want what we have, if you want freedom, and I'm not just talking to individual hearts, I'm talking to the state of Delaware, the country of the United States, the world as we know it, might not want what we have. But I know when I got to that place Andre talked about, laying in Gander Hill, in my bunk, touching my ribs, my spirit cried out for me. The Bible says he knows what you want before you ask. And that you don't even have to put words together. You can just go, You ain't even got to say, help me. This is an eternal communication. So if you're in the room, or you're home, or you're across the other side of the planet, communication, that technology John talked about, it blesses us with an opportunity. COVID blessed us with an opportunity, right? To carry the message, right? One thing that Andre spoke about, and I made me think, before we close in prayer, I want to ask Kenny to come up if he doesn't mind to close this. He stayed the whole night. He helps me in my recovery. I learn from him. I love him to pray us out. But one thing that really burns me up, Andre, is that when I have a brother, and I don't know if Miguel can relate to this, or people that are servants of God in some of the darkest places, that when God gets through the muck and the mire and speaks to that spirit, and the newcomer goes, for that fleeting moment goes, I don't want that. I want that. They go, why? What I have for you is going to save your life. And then they go, well, it's been killing me so far. I want that. And they go, no. To me, that's criminal. To me, that's playing God. And in my state, the one thing that I will give everything I have, and I have already, for the newcomer. Because when my spirit cried out, there was nobody standing there going, no, you can't have that. A path was open for me. That's what we're doing as a community of faith and recovery. We're here for the newcomer, and when the newcomer cries out, if we're not here, the world will say, recovery what? Literature what? Coloring books? Not about right and wrong. It's about when God touches a person, we need to be there. There needs to be an opportunity for healing and recovery. And without us, Pastor says it all the time, Sundays are the most divided days. Without diversity, without inclusion, not AA, NA, celebrate, no. Without recovering people of God and faith, we will be lost. My brother, my mentor says it's all love. Any fellowship, it's all love. We need to walk in love, in grace, in truth. And we need to be changing the dynamic everywhere we go. Thanks for letting me share. I'd like to ask you.